How's everyone doing? So, we're going to be doing a segment I haven't done in quite a bit. But, before we jump into the video today, just want to let you guys know, if you like my videos, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more of my content, please hit that subscribe button. And then, if you want to be notified whenever new content comes out, hit that bell icon down below. Now, let's get on into it today, guys. I haven't done a 99er bust in a little while, so I decided, let's get right back into them. Let's do another one. Why not? It'll be fun, right? Now, the card I'm going to talk about today is kind of a two-parter. As you can see by the thumbnail or the video title, we're going to be talking about Life Death. Now, Life Death was originally printed back in Apocalypse. It's a split card. The first part of the split card is Life, which says, until end of turn, all lands you control are 1/1 creatures. Pretty interesting. Okay. Now we have Death. Death is a 1 in a black return target creature card from a graveyard to the battlefield. You lose life equal to the converted mana cost. So, reanimate for 1 more mana, same speed, everything. Now, just like normal 99 or bust style, we're going to talk about the floor versus the ceiling of this card and see if we should run it or not. Pretty sure a lot of you guys know what I'm going to say already about this card, but heck, we're here anyways. Let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm going to do this video a little bit differently because it is a split card, so you kind of have to evaluate both ends, right? Now, starting with the floor of both cards, both sides, the floor of life. Turning your lands into creatures is a double-edged sword. By that, I mean, they're susceptible to removal, board wipes, anything like that. People can, if this says bounce target creature, they can bounce land instead. Now, where this comes in handy is going to be the fact that, you can kind of alpha strike people out of nowhere. So that's kind of the best way to describe life. Yes, your lands are creatures, and they are more susceptible to board wipes and removal and the likes. But the fact that you can utilize your lands as creatures in different ways, like sacrificing them to mill cards, draw cards, so you can skull clamp your own land, you can tap floating mana, skull clamp the same land, draw 2 cards. So it's pretty interesting, pretty versatile, has a lot of ways you can play around with it. You can also just full on alpha strike someone if you've got pump effects, stuff like Beastmaster Ascension. You just swing out with all your lands and then suddenly they become 6/6s plus the rest of your team on board. So it's kind of a fun, your opponents look at your board, oh, you don't have enough to kill me. Well, now I do. It's kind of fun. Now let's get into my favorite side of the card, which is Death. Now, Death is just 1 in a black reanimate, right? There's, reanimate spells are some of the most powerful cards in our format. They are some of the most. By that, I mean being able to steal creatures from graveyards is always going to be good. That's why cards like the Scarab God are super powerful, because it just takes anything and makes you a 4/4 zombie. Doesn't necessarily reanimate them, but it does give you a copy of it, right? Now, the floor in this card is actually, it just depends on what's in the graveyard. You either have to put a good enough creatures in your graveyard to make it work, or hope your opponents have good creatures. So that would definitely be the floor, is the fact that it is very graveyard reliant. Now the ceiling. The ceiling is where this card shines. It's the fact that you can bring back any creature. It is a budget version of Reanimate that has another function than Reanimate. Reanimate's just the 1 black, boom, you got a dude from the graveyard. While this one is, okay, you can pick your spots. You can play it for life and, make all your lands into creatures and swing out and kill the whole table. Or you can play it for death and just bring creature back from the graveyard. Now, personally, I use Life Death a lot as a card. I definitely think if you're playing any kind of green-black deck, whether that's Jund, Simic, Golgari, anything with green and black in it. It's not that mana intensive. It's only one of each pip. I think you should run it. If you're playing graveyard decks, definitely you should have it in there. It's just another copy of Reanimate. You know, if you're running sacrifice outlet decks that really want to sacrifice their creatures for value, you know, life comes in handy if, you know, your opponent's going to board wipe, or if your opponent is going to like destroy your creatures on your turn and you just Blood Artist on the battlefield and you have 10 lands and boom, now you got 10 more Blood Artist triggers. So I definitely think it's one of those cards that is worth putting in your deck just for the sheer fact of its versatility, as well as the budget it's at. You know, it's not an expensive card. You know, it's under $5, but it's still a really good card. Definitely think it needs to be seen play more than it does. I throw it in pretty much all of my Golgari decks. I've got several copies of the card. Will always play it. If I'm playing green black and there's some sort of graveyard shenanigans going there, it's definitely going in there. But that's what I think, guys. That's kind of my take on the card. Tell me what you think down in the comment section below. Do you believe that Life Death is, you know, should be part of your 99 in any green black deck, or do you think there are better options? Let me know. As always, guys, play more games.